You have to remember that sometimes it's not just negative energy, but there can also be negative entities occupying a space. They kind of like to feed on and congregate in areas that have lower vibrations. Have you ever lived somewhere that just has really bad energy? And it's almost like when you're in your home, you almost lower in vibration and you can't even hold a higher vibration. Well, I'm going to teach you a way that you can clear bad energy out of your house or really out of any physical space. It could be an office space, it could be a place that you frequent, could be, anywhere where you have, the rights and the power over that space. You can do this. So yeah, let's talk about it. So why do homes or places get a bad energy sometimes? Well, the main thing is that homes and places and spaces hold the energy of the people that have been occupying that space. So you can kind of think of it like, if somebody's has purple paint all over themselves, then if they walk around in a room, there's going to be purple paint in that room when they leave. So it's the same thing with emotional energy. And over time, if you have a really long period of someone existing in a certain frequency, then the whole room will start to feel like how that person or that group of people feel. So, for example, a room might feel like stress and anxiety and uptight if the person that stays in that space most of the time is very anxious and uptight. A space could feel really negative or evil or dark if somebody does something really out of alignment in that space, or somebody that lives a life very out of alignment where they're doing things that are bad is existing in that space and their frequency is emitting into the space. Also, a lot of old houses, especially like I live in an 113-year-old house. So my house has a lot of just old historical energy because so many people have lived here in over a century. Houses also get bad energy from the stuff that's in it. If your house is very dirty or moldy or you have a bunch of clutter, then your house is going to contain the vibration of all those objects as well, and it's not going to have as pristine of a vibration. All right, so let's talk about the best ways to clear negative energy and stuck old energy out of your house. The first thing I want to talk about is intention. Probably the number one most important thing with clearing energy is intention. You need to have it in your mind and your heart that you are deciding to clear negative energy out of this space. And you need to hold that intention in your being. This is not just thinking it over and over, although that can help. Intention is a feeling that's related to the mind and the thoughts, but it's different. And we know it when we feel it. It's like the difference between thinking about grabbing my glass of water and actually intending it and it actually happening through my intent. So it's a little different than thinking it. It's almost like if you did have that power, which you do, but maybe if you're just getting started, you don't know if you have that ability yet. Imagine if you knew for 100% fact you could do it, how would it feel to set that intention? So number one is intention. And the intention is to either clear out old negative energy or welcome in high vibrational, fresh energy. And another intention you can use is you can call in higher beings for assistance. You can call in your guides, ancestors that serve love. You can call in the Christ consciousness spirit. You can call in ascended masters like Yahashua, Buddha, Yogananda, all these people. You can call in beings from the past. So remember that it's not just on you. And there are many higher beings that would love to clear out lower spaces, but they actually don't have permission to. And you can actually give those higher beings permission to clear out the space. So two things with intention are, for one, your intention to clear the space, but also your intention to call in for higher guidance and assistance. Because a lot of the energy work that's required to clear out a house is really difficult for a human to do. You can kind of get it started, but you really want those higher beings to cement in the energetic protection and clear out all of the stuck energy. So the next way to clear out energy out of a space or out of your house is to use smoke. So when I say smoke, it's specific types of smoke. You don't want to just burn like paper or have like a bonfire in your house. You've got to use Palo Santo, sage, or you can use incense. I know there's probably many other variations. If you have another thing that you smudge or burn and it clears energy out of the space, you can use it as well. Me personally, I mostly use Palo Santo and incense. And then occasionally I'll use white sage or some other types of sage as well. But what I found is that white sage is probably the most powerful, but it's also not necessary. Incense smells the best, so it actually leaves like a nice smell in your house, and it's very powerful as well when coupled with intention. So you can use one of those three or something else. And what you do is you take that smoke and you open up all the windows in the house and you move around the house with your intention to clear. So you're doing both at the same time. You have your intention to clear the energy out of the space, but you also are using a physical object. You're burning something which is adding more energy to the space, newer, fresher energy. And you're intending this newer energy to clear out the old energy. So I often walk around with Palo Santo or an incense stick with my other hand up. And I just imagine I'm kind of like, almost like I'm shooting air out of my hands and I'm just cycling and getting all the stuck, stagnant energy out. And I'm imagining it flowing out of the windows with the smoke. So the smoke, I'm going around, I'm blessing doorways because doorways are portals. So I go from the top to the bottom of each doorway. I even go around in a square, each doorway. And then I set the intention of this space is cleansed. I'm removing any negative energy or stagnant energy from this space. And it's almost like a meditation and kind of like a dance. You move around, you're very present, you're walking, you're tuned in to all the feelings in the room, and you're setting the intention to wash out all of this old, negative, stagnant energy. You may be drawn to certain parts of your house. For example, for some reason, the bathroom in my house always has really, really negative energy. I'm not really sure if something happened in there or if there is something wrong with it. Not really sure, but I always pick up a lot of negative energy in there whenever I do energy cleansings on my house. So I'll put extra effort into cleansing those spaces that kind of feel heavy or feel like anxiety or like gross. I'll put extra effort into cleansing the heavier parts of my house. Where, for example, this room that I'm in, where I'm always working in and where I reach a lot of high vibration, I meditate in here a lot. This room's pretty much cleared all the time. But even the living room gets a lot of stagnant negative energy in it. And it's important to clear it out. So this kind of goes along with it, but you want airflow. So especially if you're using some sort of smudging, if you're using smoke in the house, you obviously want to get airflow and get the smoke out. But in general, having fresh airflow into your house, even without smudging or without lighting any smoke, it will clear the energy of your house. The next one is through sound. So you can cleanse the energy of a house through sound bowls. That's a great way. You can have crystal singing bowls. I have a little sound bowl that I ring and send sound vibrations into the house to clear out the negative energy. Same exact idea with the smoke, except instead of using smoke, I'm using sound. So a singing bowl is great, or you can use the old-fashioned singing bowl. You can ohm or you can do some sort of vocalization that calls in fresh, good energy into the space. And I can almost feel the sound like shaking up all the muck in the environment and flushing it out. So you can use vocal intentions or something like just an ohm, or singing a beautiful song in a space is also energetically cleansing. And the last way to clear negative energy out of your house is really simple, and it's the one that we want to do last usually, but it's actually to physically clean your house. So do all your dishes, sweep, mop the floors, organize things, clean up corners that have webs and dirty things, clean it up. Get your house in tip-top shape. When you're cleansing, feel that gratitude of like, oh yeah, this is so clean now. I love it. And while you're cleaning, you're also using intention. So you're cleaning and you're cleaning out the negative energy from a corner or from the dishes, and it's being cleansed through your physical action as well. Also, when you're clearing out a space, you have to remember that sometimes it's not just negative energy, but there can also be negative entities occupying a space. They kind of like to feed on and congregate in areas that have lower vibrations. So, what you also can do is say this and speak this intention into your house. I do not consent to any entities accessing or influencing or being in my house unless they serve love. Now let's get into, I guess, the fun part, which is calling in good energy and energetically protecting a space. So there's many ways to call in good energy. A lot of the examples we used before do both. So oming calls in good energy into your house, calling in your guides to bring in good energy and to protect the space. Incense has a really high vibration and it can bring in positive energy into a space. Laughter brings positive energy into a space. Any sort of prayer or connection with the divine. I sometimes like to do Reiki on a space. So I'll imagine pink energy is flooding into the room, or I'll imagine white energy is flooding into the room. So after a space is cleared, I like to do energetic protections and bring positive energy. And I can usually tell when I'm done because the room will feel warm. It doesn't necessarily feel physically warm, but the space will feel welcoming. And once your space feels welcoming, then you know that you've cleared out enough negative energy and you've brought in a good amount of positive energy. All right. So, and you can kind of feel this when you walk into a really nice space where good things happen. It kind of puts your nervous system at ease. So when you do an energetic clearing on your house, it usually takes me about 30 minutes to an hour, but I end up getting to a place where my house resonates with this feeling of warmth and coziness, and it almost has, my mind is able to rest. It's not being pulled in a million directions. I'm able to center myself, and my home becomes a sanctuary for my inner world, for my healing, for my life in general. My home becomes a sanctuary. So thank you so much for watching today. Drop a like or subscribe if you want to hear more content like this, and definitely comment down below what you think of this, especially if you give it a try. I want to hear some stories. Did anything happen? Did you feel a change in the room? Do you feel happier? Does it feel worse? I don't know. Drop a comment below and let me know. Engage with the community here. We also do free breathwork class every single Sunday. So the link is in the description for that. And also, if you want to work with me, I'm a coach. You can also apply down below. So thanks so much for watching today. I'll talk to you soon.